Night falling on a chilly evening in Fort Collins. Big game tonight in Moby Arena. Well, they might be by the end of this Mountain West season. Boise State, Colorado State coming up. Students are back on campus. This place will be bouncing tonight for Boise State and Colorado State in the always fun Mountain West. Mountain West standings right to the moment. New Mexico, Utah State with 1 loss each. Right behind the Rams and the Broncos. Hi, everybody. I'm Rich Waltz. Welcome to Fort Collins. It seems every night in the Mountain West, we have drama. We have impactful games. We have great home court environment. All of those boxes are checked. Dan Dickow joins me tonight, former Gonzaga All-American. Once again, here we are in the Mountain West, and the stakes are high.
Well, year in and year out, this seems to go down to the last weekend of the year. Boise State, preseason favorite. They've lost 2 of their last 3. They come into Moby Arena. Colorado State's won 6 of their last 8. It's going to be a terrific basketball game.
Into this matchup, Boise State seems to have the advantage with the bigs. And when you talk there, you start with Tyson Degenhart.
Preseason player of the year in the Mountain West Conference. He can do a little bit of everything for Leon Rice in this Bronco ball club. In conference play, though, he has really been spectacular from beyond the arc. Over 40% in that category. He is going to be a thorn in the side of the Rams.
Nico Medved and the Rams, their backcourt's really good. Clifford gets all the headlines, but this guy, Kyan Evans, the sophomore, isn't far behind.
Well, part of that resurgence of winning 6 of their last 8 is because Kyan Evans is starting to resemble Isaiah Stevens, who led this ball club for 5 seasons. Over the last 8 games, 53% from the three-point line. Boise State, you got to find him.
Boise State hasn't lost a consecutive games all year. Colorado State's won 6 of 8. Just another fun night in the Mountain West. They're starting to crank it up here at Moby. Boise State, Colorado State. Starting lineups. Pay attention to Alvaro Cardenas, one of the best point guards in the league, and right in the middle of Colorado State, Clifford, their great guard. Both coaches have won a lot at their respective schools, that's for sure. Leon Rice, in his 15th year, is over 300 wins, 5 NCAA tournaments. Nico Medved went to the tournament last year. In his 7th year, 4 20-win seasons. Dan Dickow's keys to the game.
Boise State, get back to shooting threes. They've been great in that category outside the loss at New Mexico. Point guard dominance, Cardenas, the senior, versus Evans, the sophomore, for the Rams. Transition buckets. They D up as well as anybody in this conference. Get out and get easy ones, and don't foul.
Series history, pretty even. 18-15, Boise State leads the matchup. They split last year at a game apiece. They both probably got underseeded in the NCAA tournament once they got their bids. What type of tempo we got going on here, Daniel?
I expect this game to probably be in the mid-70s. Both teams have been really good defensively as of late, minus the second half for Boise State at Utah State. Both teams take really good care of the basketball.
That's Chris Lockett Jr., a freshman. Both teams have a lot of youth after a changeover from last year. And that's a turnover right out of the gates. There's your officials. Good group here. Michael Reed, along with Michael Irving and Kelly Pfeiffer.
And of course, I say both teams take care of the basketball. Lockett, an unforced turnover, throwing it right to the Colorado State bench.
Colorado State in this league likes to pass the ball a lot. They're one of the best swing teams, and that is Nicola Joppa, who's getting the start for Rashawn Bemba. Bemba is out with an illness. Joppa making his first start, gets a bucket right out of the chute.
Terrific pass from Clifford. Interesting here on the defensive end of the floor. Lake on Boise State's point guard Cardenas, giving some more size in that matchup.
Good find by Cardenas, but Lockett missed the 3. Joppa He's in the lineup, and he's got both buckets. Nikola Joppa, the Serbian, 6'11", 235. The transfer from Long Island. He's only played in 7 games this year. He's averaging 1 point and 1 rebound in those 7 games. Off the double, Joppa said, oh, he almost took the 3.
Why not? I think he should have shot that. This Moby crowd would have went wild had he made it.
That's a nice move by Clifford, and Joppa kind of screamed Degenhart.
Well, interesting decision for Medved to start Joppa instead of Jorgensen, who's the first big off the bench. He said it's a chance for them to keep their rotations as similar as possible with Bemba out.
Crowd still standing until Boise State scores. Cardenas can score and distribute, and his floater in the lane is good, and everybody sits down. It's a whiteout night here. A lot of white in Moby Arena. Very historic place. 1966 it opened. It holds just over 8,000.
One of the best basketball movies ever was filmed here. One-on-one with Robbie Benson.
Robbie Benson, sort of like an earlier model of a Dan Dickow. Clifford, a 3, and he missed it. Broncos a good rebounding team, one of the best in the conference, plus 8.6. Omar Stanley backing in against Clifford. Clifford's a big guard, but he can guard 1 through 3. Cardenas, all the Broncos had a tough time there last time out. That's Clifford, and that's goaltending. All right, you're getting your first start here. You're averaging 3 minutes a game. You're Nikola Joppa, and all of a sudden, you're wide open.
Well, you get a couple terrific passes, each of them from Clifford. First in the pick and roll, second, run the floor. Next opportunity, Clifford, it's my opportunity, my chance. I'm going to finish at the rim. He has grown into being a really good player. 3rd team All-Mountain West a season ago, preseason 1st team. There's a reason Nate Clifford is on NBA draft boards. He's got a ton of potential, great positional size, terrific defender.
You saw those points in the paint. Niko Medved wasn't counting on many points in the paint when game planning for this game without Bemba, but already he's got 6 of them. That ball's going to stay with the Rams. Niko Medved's team 11-7, kind of an uneven non-conference, but 5-2 in the Mountain West. They've played better in every aspect, including this guy in the Mountain West. That's a long 3 there.
Well, one of the reasons they've played better, and you just alluded to it, Kyan Evans, sophomore, a season ago as a freshman, was in the rotation, but with Isaiah Stevens, as Meadow knocks down a corner 3, but with Isaiah Stevens being essentially the best player in Colorado State history, it's hard to take him off the floor. But Evans now really learning on the fly, and he's showing why they've got such high hopes for him.
Meadow with that 3. That's a good sign for Boise State if they can shoot it well from 3 tonight. Jalen Crocker-Johnson. And a fast start for both teams. Colorado State, a couple of 3s already. Stanley left-handed short. And look at Joppa winning the battle. They're getting huge minutes out of this guy right now.
He's been terrific this first 4 minutes. Screening, creating opportunities on the roll, and then just being big positionally in the lane.
Julian Bowie for Boise State in there right now. Cardenas feeds Degenhart. You're going to see a variety of guys guarding Degenhart tonight. A little 2-man game with Cardenas. Pocket pass and a foul. Nicely set up by the Spaniard. Timeout, our first one. In the Mountain West, a 12-7 lead for Colorado State.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Jeep. There's only one. And by AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
It feels like Colorado State has kind of snuck up on the conference once conference play started. They're 5-2, and they have some really nice numbers. They shoot it very well. They assist quite well. They're 14th in the country in assist percentage. and they're playing defense. 41% their opponent's shooting.
Nico Medved said the reason they're starting to see the results in the win column is because their defense is beginning to catch up with their offense. They've always been a terrific program on the offensive end of the floor. And to touch on that assist percentage you talk about, this is a very unselfish program. Guys make plays for others. A game earlier this year against Fresno State, 29 made baskets, 28 assists. I challenge anybody out there to find a better percentage this season than that one.
And that's how you get assist percentage. And more in the game, both on offense and defense, coaches value that. Utah State is actually better. They're 8th in the country, and Colorado State is 14th in the country. So those two teams are really distributing the basketball. And on defense, you want a low one because you want teams to take tough twos.
Boise State's defense in particular is built in taking away opponents' three-point shots, forcing them into contested twos, as you mentioned.
Offensive foul. That's Kyle Jorgensen, who just checked into the game, and he was sliding into that screen. You'll see Jorgensen coming in. Ethan Morton will come in. Remember, Rashawn Bemba is ill, though Nikola Joppa, his first 4 minutes were quite spectacular. 4 points, a screen that led to a bucket, and good work on the boards. Cardenas, he needs help. He can't run the show and score as much as he's had to do. Ubo misses on a 3, and Clifford, who's a double-double waiting to happen, he's got 8 of them, has the rebound.
A lot of times you have a wing with length and athleticism. They're great on the offensive glass. He's actually 3rd in the country in defensive rebounds per game.
Keyshawn Williams driving is fouled. Look at that. The rest of the team. He's such a unique guy. At 6'6", he's a big guard. And you saw him guarding a big. He's a nightmare to defend because you're not sure what to put on him. Do you put your 2 guard on him? Can't really put a point guard on him. And if you put a 3 or a 4 on him, he'll blow right by you.
Very skilled, very versatile. Another example of just being in the right program that fits you. Started his career at Colorado. He has found a home here in Fort Collins.
And he's driving here. That's kind of a Euro step through, but he missed the layup. Boise State off misses and live ball turnovers will get it up and down the floor. This is Bowie, the freshman from Pocatello. Whips it out. Ubo driving, kicking, Meadow driving, and fouled on his way to the buckets.
And I know, Rich, you and I have called games in the Mountain West for quite some time, but this is our 2nd time seeing Andrew Meadow. I still don't recognize him because he got a haircut. It was past his shoulders as of about 10 days ago.
Jorgensen's foul, his 2nd. Well, remember, we were at Utah State for what was one of the great games we've seen in the last couple of years. Meadow walked into the arena with the haircut. He hadn't told anyone he got it. And without his glasses, to the point where you're like, who's that guy?
Yeah, it took us most of shoot-around to figure out who number 13 in the practice jersey was.
He's no longer a handsome brother from the Slapshot movie. He's more like the studious Kurt Rambis with a 3-point game.
He has really improved between freshman to sophomore year. 2nd leading scorer. For those of you who don't know Kurt Rambis, he was a spectacular player for the Magic Johnson-led Showtime Lakers.
He was the blue-collar guy. Santa Clara star. 12-8. If you're just joining us here, Boise State, 13-6, 5-3. They're number 50 in the net. Colorado State is rising. They've won 6 of their last 8. They're 82 in the net, and they're 5-2 in the conference. And what is always a fun night everywhere you go in the Mountain West. Ethan Morton in the game for Colorado State, the Purdue transfer. Clifford stays in. Williams driving, kicked it. I think it's off his leg, and it is.
Williams still finding his way. Get another look at it. Oh, it looks like Buchanan may have slapped it down and knocked it off Williams' knee, but still finding his way. Started his career at Tulsa, went to Northern Illinois where he was a big-time scorer. One game in, a season ago, 2 seasons ago actually, excuse me, tore his ACL. Just now rounding back into shape. They like his scoring potential.
Another pocket pass from Cardenas, and it's a Degenhardt layup for a bucket.
That might be the most deadly combination in pick and roll in the Mountain West. Cardenas to Degenhardt, because you've got to worry about Degenhardt pick and pop. You've also got to worry about screen and roll. And then Cardenas, he can score it, not just pass it.
Bowen born in the game for Colorado State. This is Clifford, whips it. Morton doesn't score much, and he's fouled by Buchanan.
Get another look. Step up, pick and roll. Cardenas, the pocket pass on the money, where Degenhardt literally just has to catch and explode to the rim for the finish.
Leon Rice showed that guy a lot of John Stockton tape. So this is kind of like Stockton and Malone, with Degenhardt playing the role of the mailman, just to show Cardenas that, hey man, you don't have to squeeze it so tight and try to do everything. You can play like Stockton did. I'm sure you may have seen a few of them. Actually, back in the day, you could just watch them on TV, right? That's a three, and that's good. And that's from Julian Bowie. He and Javen Buchanan have really been playing well for the Broncos off the bench, and their minutes continue to rise.
Kids these days don't realize how good they have it with YouTube, being able to learn the history of the game. You wanted to watch something, you had to VCR it years ago.
Explain VCR. I know VCU.
Video cassette recorder.
I know VCU, and Boise State beating Colorado State down the floor, and suddenly a flurry from the Broncos. Degenhardt's bucket from Bowie. It's 15-12. Boise State. Friday night, 8 Eastern. Love the hockey music. We got it. Number 17, St. Cloud State taking on Omaha right here on CBS Sports Network. Boise State, nice run here, an 8-0 run, and during that run, Colorado State is 0 for 4 from the field.
A much better job of taking away easy opportunities. We saw those first 2 baskets by Joppa. Those were definitely addressed by Leon Rice and staff at that first media timeout. Much better response to understanding what your role is in each defensive scheme.
Joppa is out, and so they're going small right now. You got Jalen Crocker-Johnson playing the role of the big down low. Banging hard against Buchanan, and Buchanan got a piece of that shot. And the rebound taken down by R.J. Keene, who's in the game. Bowie just gets better with every game. Missed that shot. Clifford got the rebound and collects it. And it looked like Bowen Bourne got popped in the eye. And he's got blood coming down from it. Looks like the right eye. And he's headed back to the locker room. And then they may have to clean some of that up off the court here.
That would be a big blow if he's not able to return for his usual minutes. Been playing really well as of late. 8 points in their last win. He got it pretty good. You just were reading a hockey promo.
Yes.
Right there. That is hockey to a T, isn't it?
It is, and you were telling me in the break you got a good John Stockton hockey connection.
Yeah, you mentioned John Stockton, Karl Malone pick and roll a couple of years ago. The last time I was on the ice was at John Stockton's Christmas party. I'll never go on the ice again, even though my daughters are figure skaters. I broke my wrist the last time I tried to play hockey.
Ouch.
Not good. So you won't see me being an analyst for the hockey
Yeah, but
on CBS
if you were a hockey player, you just tape it up and get back out there.
Probably.
Now, the great run by Boise State. Evans kicks out. Shot clock's down. Got to get it up. Williams does. And he hits it. 15 apiece.
That's the scoring punch that they're hoping to see from him.
Scoring for Boise State has kind of been dominated by Degenhardt and delivered by Cardenas. 3 assists for Cardenas. Degenhardt's 2 for 2. And that long 3 is off. That's Bowie, who's hitting In Mountain West play, 52% from distance. Cardenas with the steal and the run out and the layup.
Terrific job in the passing lane from Cardenas, reading the eyes of Morton. Flat pass at that angle.
I think
dangerous.
Cardenas' best game as a Bronco was that Utah State game. He was playing at a really high level until the Broncos pulled into New Mexico. Evans. Oh! Kyan Evans is quickly becoming one of the better guards in the conference.
It's great to see because Niko Medved's offense is based on a lot of pick and rolls, a lot of post-entry sets where then there's split actions, and Kyan Evans doing a terrific job of learning it and executing it. As a point guard, let the game come to you. Evans hadn't taken a single shot all game long. Off the relocation, shot fake, one dribble pull-up as Buchanan flies by.
You know, they got drubbed at San Diego State, but that guy looked really good in that game, and he had some really nice moments.
And it's not easy as a young point guard to go in to Viejas and play well. Many guards take it as a learning experience. I agree with you. I thought Evans played really well.
This is Morton, kind of the glue guy for the Rams. Evans going to take the three. That's Jorgensen, and he hits it. That's his 10th of the season, so he's comfortable out there.
Terrific execution in regards to ball fake. Get that defense who should have been in rotation to pause just long enough to allow him the freedom and space to knock down that three.
Cardenas probing, whipping, and look at the move there by Andrew Meadow. He's a threat from the corner for a three. They closed out. He got up and under and in, and we're back in 30 in the Mountain West. Spirited huddle for Niko Medved right now.
Terrific spacing from Colorado State leads to the three for Jorgensen. Andrew Meadows shows the exact way to attack a closeout. Put the ball on the deck, attack the front of the rim, and if it looks like there's a shot blocker, use the rim to shield your shot opportunity.
Andrew Meadow, his role on this team went from kind of part-timer last year to a big-time role and a guy that they're really counting on. He showed skills last year. He's had some really nice nights. He had 18 in the win over Wyoming. Utah State, 12 points there. Look at that. The jump from last year to this year.
And a lot of it just comes with opportunity and confidence. Leon Rice told me a season ago that Andrew Meadow was going to be a great player. But unfortunately for him, he had Buzo Abo, who's now at USC, in front of him in the rotation. Meadow making and taking advantage of that opportunity early on, and he's making the most of it.
They are still cleaning up the blood from Bowen Bourne. And you saw he was quite bloody. We've been given a note that Bourne is expected to return, and when he does, he'll be wearing a new jersey. Because the old one is going to take a while. It's going to take more than shout to get that out right now.
Well, he's a tough kid. 4 years at Northern Iowa. The coaching staff told us that he's such a worker that a lot of times they've got to tell him to pace your workouts. He's been battling some issues with his knees, and he's just now feeling better.
He simply ran into, right there, a couple of shoulders, and he was battered at that point. Freddie Pacheco, where are you when we need you? Gil Clancy, maybe. Evans has really controlled the offense for Colorado State. This is Clifford. Degenhardt has him. Jorgensen kicks. Clifford fires a three.
That is the shot. If he can consistently knock that down on the season, a little over 30%. He can become a bona fide NBA player as a 3-and-D guy at the next level.
Stanley's in there. Degenhart, nice catch. Big hop and a bucket. When he gets it in low, he's got all the moves.
Degenhart doesn't wow you with his athleticism or his length, but he beats you with his skill, his determination, and his willingness and ability to play through contact.
Degenhart 7 points, 3 of 5 from the field. Jorgensen, Meadow wins the race to the ball. It's a held ball. It will stay with Colorado State.
Tough catch from Degenhart, and then just attacking the secondary defender, gets on balance, jump hook over that right shoulder.
Colorado State's last 4 shots, all 3-pointers, and they've made all 4 of them. Jorgensen, nice find, but he misses with the left hand, and a foul on Stanley, who doesn't believe it. Neither does Leon Rice.
I would love to see another look at that by our phenomenal truck. I don't know if that's much of a foul.
That's not the whistle there. Ooh, left hand to the face.
Maybe so,
and
but
they're
maybe a foul on the initial shot.
Yeah, you can't see that contact with the face. Here's another look on the ice, so this is a better view of it. Boy, I don't know.
I mean, that's almost kind of a
incident.
This is my rebound, don't come in here. I don't know if that should have been a foul, but based on the fact that it's above the shoulders, the officials go to the monitor, take a look to see if it's a flagrant 1 or flagrant 2. I don't think it's going to be either one. I would be shocked if it were. But if it were a flagrant 1, that would be 2 free throws in the basketball for Colorado State. I don't think it should have been a foul either direction, to be honest with you. But that's one reason I'm sitting in the analyst chair and not.
Yeah, it's easy to officiate with a sport coat on.
Yes.
Flagrant 1, excessive in nature, unnecessary contact, but not based on severity. Maybe it's unnecessary contact. It wasn't excessive.
If anything, it were to be a flagrant 1, but I think the officials will keep it just as that common foul they initially whistled it as.
The call on the floor stands. Common foul.
Common foul. So a common foul, not a flagrant, still a foul nonetheless, and I don't think the Broncos are any happier about it that it wasn't a flagrant. They didn't think there should be, did not think there should be any foul at all. It's going to switch the possession over to Colorado State. Kyan Evans, 3 points, 3 assists. Nick Clifford already has 4 assists. They have 10 assists, 8 assists on 9 field goals made. That might be another one. Long 3 misses. Degenhart with the rebound. This game has flowed pretty well up and down the floor. Cardenas on the bench right now for Boise State, about to check in. Bowie working on Evans. Degenhart. You can see they really missed Cardenas on the floor as a playmaker. Degenhart opened for 3 and missed it. Tip by Stanley won't go. Lake has the rebound. Keene got his hands on it. And it's a foul on Boise State. Timeout on the floor in the Mountain West so far. 24-21 Rams.
Welcome back to Moby Arena, where we've got a fantastically played first half. We mentioned Degenhart and his fundamental base a second ago. Keep an eye on Tyson Degenhart here. Mentioned he doesn't beat you with his athleticism, but his skill and his understanding of the game. Perfect block out, and then the timing of when to go for the jump for the rebound. Terrific execution there by Degenhart. Not just on the offensive end of the floor does he execute those fundamentals, but on the defensive end of the floor and the glass as well.
You talked about how well this game is being played. The numbers back it up. There's 14 assists combined with these two teams. Colorado State shooting it great from 3. They're 6 of 9 Boise State has just one turnover. A lot to like in the scorecard here. Alvaro Cardenas, 6 points, 4 assists. Clifford, 5 points, 4 assists. Kyan Evans, the young guard with the ball right now, he's got 3 assists. And guess who's back? It's Nikola Joppa, who had the first 2 buckets of the game in his very first start. A guy that's averaging just 3 minutes in the only 7 games he's played. With Bemba out, kick out, Bowie missed the 3. Clifford battles, has the rebound. Man down, numbers for Colorado State if they want it. Clifford wants. Little stumble there. And he fires an air ball. Good job by Degenhardt to meet him in the lane. Cardenas back in. Bowie, floater. And it's short. And locked up is Joppa and Stanley.
Well, Joppa has been a huge spark as he was inserted in the starting lineup today. Not necessarily a clean catch, but he doesn't care how he gets his 2 points, and neither does Niko Medved. Does he get his own assist on that, or are we going to give that to Kyan Evans?
I think Evans is getting that one. The thing about Joppa last year at Long Island, he played 21 minutes a game, 6 points and 5 rebounds. He just hasn't played well this year to crack into the rotation. But with Bemba's illness, Joppa gets the start, and he's got 6 points in this game to go with 2 rebounds in 7 minutes. Cardenas looks at the clock. That's a 3. He is really playing at a high level. Going into the New Mexico game, he had 25 assists, just 2 turnovers in the 3 games leading up. And I thought his finest performance was that Utah State game.
They did a great job, especially in the second half, finding the middle of the zone and then making the correct reads.
AT&T at the half. We're going back to New York. What a quartet we've got tonight. Adam Zucker, Wally Zerbiak, Roy Hibbert, Gary Parrish, all coming up. They'll talk about the Mountain West. They'll look at this game, a good one here, Colorado State and Boise State. That is AT&T at the half. Last night, Brent Stover on fire with a lot of that group. Degenhardt begging for the ball. Wants to take it hard. He does. Clifford blocked it, and it goes the other way.
Terrific recognition on the weak side from Clifford. Crocker Johnson, dribble drive attacked by Degenhardt, and defensively, you have to be connected as a team. Move on every pass, every dribble. Clifford in the right spot, right place, right time to come up with that block.
The lead is 2 for Colorado State. Joppa still in there. Crocker Johnson waiting for Clifford to clear. Buchanan's got that assignment. Buchanan, such a terrific ad. The NAIA All-American. Clifford falling away. It's a 3. He is a Player of the Year candidate in the Mountain West.
Without a doubt, Buchanan withstood the first back down effort from Clifford. But you can't celebrate your first success. You've got to finish the possession.
Buchanan's got size and skills, and he steps through and scores. 58% in Mountain West play from the field. There's some guys that are improving as they get into conference play, and he's one of them.
That's why I like the upside of this Boise State team. So you've got Pearson Carmichael, who's now not going to redshirt. Lake, a nice finish, but Carmichael for Boise State starting to play better. Chris Lockett Jr., Bowie is starting to play well, and Buchanan, you just mentioned, he provides a different dimension than they had a season ago.
Nice drive by Jalen Lake. Extends the lead to 5. Cardenas, I don't know if that was a shot or maybe a pass. Dylan Anderson's in for his first run as a Bronco tonight. He was in the starting lineup, but his minutes have diminished. Now coming off the bench. Joppa! If he had made that, then it's
career night. Here we go. But that shot was created by Clifford, dragging Anderson, the defender on the screener, away from his man Joppa. I'm okay with your big man taking that wide open 3. I just hope Niko Medved is.
Meadow, who hangs out in the corner. Cardenas replaces him. Misses the 3. That's Buchanan. That's Buchanan. And he missed on both accounts. Rams had to stop, turn, and look for Ali Farokmanesh, the assistant coach, who holds the offensive set up on a grease board. We had a terrific visit with him. Clifford fouled by Anderson. He gets 3 free throws when we get back. Good game tonight.
Well, Colorado State executing on the offensive end. Things break down. It's helpful when you've got a guy like Nick Clifford. Jalen Lake, you guard me one way in the pick and roll, I'm going to make you pay.
In helping those affected by the California wildfires, your donation enables the Red Cross to provide shelter, meals, and relief items to help people recovering from these disasters. Donate today by going to redcross.org/CBS, call 1-800-RED-CROSS, or you can text the word Red Cross to 90999 to make a $10 donation. 90999. Text it. Here we are, Moby Arena. (31-26). This guy, the transfer from Colorado, has been one of the best players in the Mountain West. He had 23 points at Wyoming, shot the 3 quite well there. 22 points against UNLV, shot the 3 well there. And from now on, Dan Dickhouse, we get closer to the end of the season, they oftentimes ask you to make your player of the year picks in this conference. I would guess that 2 guys in this game, Clifford and Degenhart, are on your short list.
Well, they've got to be on the short list. And if you look around the league, Miles Byrd, San Diego State's made a huge jump. Mason Falslev at Utah State. I mean, this league is littered with good players. It's also littered with good coaches that put their players in opportunities where they can have an advantage, and many times those advantages lead to free throw opportunities.
And you saw that note there. Colorado State is the best free throw shooting team in this conference at 78. They've got their biggest lead right now at home against Boise State. Degenhart, Buchanan, Keene, Cardenas, and Meadow in the game right now for the Broncos. A whiteout tonight. Students are on campus for the first time since December 4th. Keene trying to beat the clock, and it's a shot clock violation.
Terrific possession defensively from start to finish from Colorado State. A number of pick and roll opportunities. They switched or hard hedged almost perfectly, just as Nico Medved walked through today at shoot-around.
Everybody talks about Colorado State's offense, and it's really good and it's fun and they move the ball, but they defend. Lake! And a free throw. And the lead balloons to 9.
Well, Lake has been really good as of late. 4 of his last 5 games, 10 points or more. He's on track to do that again this evening. A senior from Waxahachie, Texas. A season ago, he kind of cemented himself in Colorado State lore. Played against arch rival Colorado with a broken finger, went in the next morning for surgery after being posed with an opportunity to play or sit. He decided to play with that broken finger.
7-0 run by Colorado State, and a 10-point lead is the biggest of the game. Boise State's offense has grown stagnant. Give Colorado State credit. They're a better defensive team than people realize, especially in conference. Once they got to conference, Colorado State's defense better than non-conference. 65 a game they're allowing, 31% from the field for their opponents from the 3-point line, and 40% field goal shooting overall. Those are all great defensive metrics.
Shot clock winding down, got to recognize.
Cardenas recognizes and drops in a 3.
That's a backbreaker for Colorado State. Another good possession. Cardenas, though, just a little bit better.
12 points, 4 assists for Cardenas. Ethan Morton in tight, and he's going to get tied up. That ball's going Boise State's way.
Clock winding down. Cardenas recognizes it just in time, lets it go over the outstretched arm of Jalen Lake. He has been playing spectacular tonight.
No turnovers with those 4 assists. And he's got 12 points on 5 of 7 shooting, a pair of threes. And watching the Stockton tape has really helped. And that's what Leon Rice has told us about him. At times he tries to do too much. And that may have gone back to his days. Oh, it's a nice pass, and Degenhardt lost it. And a foul? Or where's the ball headed?
Well, with our vantage point, we can't tell if the ball hit out of bounds or not.
I think they're calling a foul on Degenhardt.
Yeah, I think you're right. Foul on Degenhardt. Cut the angle off of Evans going for that loose ball. Leon Rice disagrees.
And back to the line goes Colorado State. Kyan Evans, sophomore, Kansas City. And one of the things they liked about him when they recruited him, defensive instincts, and he has grown up pretty quickly. And speaking of video, they showed him video of Isaiah Stevens, their great guard. Ali Farouk-Manesh, who works with the guards here, threw on the Stevens video because Evans was like, you know, I'm making mistakes. I'm not perfect. And he goes, look, this is Stevens as a sophomore. He wasn't perfect. He made the same mistakes you made.
And guess what Isaiah Stevens became? All-time leading scorer and assist man in Colorado State history. And they like the trajectory of Evans and how he's improved from sophomore to his sophomore season from his freshman year. And the last 8 games or so, you're seeing another jump. And that is so exciting to see for a staff.
5 points, 4 assists, no turnovers for Evans, turnover for Boise State. And the Broncos starting to get a little sloppy.
After 1 turnover in the first 17.5 minutes or so, 2 turnovers, back-to-back possessions for Boise State.
Still only 3 on the night, though. A 38-29 lead for Colorado State. Crocker Johnson, Clifford off a screen. Oh, nice roll and a good find. It stays with the Rams. They got 15 to shoot.
Such an advantage to have a wing in Clifford who can handle and pick and roll and dribble handoff situations and make that find. Crocker Johnson just not able to convert.
Clifford missed the mid-range shot. Cardenas is fouled. I think Morton got him on the flyby. 6th foul on Colorado State. No free throws yet. Jalen Lake has the assignment on Cardenas. And Crocker Johnson on a reach. That'll be free throws for Tyson Degenhardt. Neither team has really been able to get out and tempo it up the floor and fast break it much. They will both do that when they get the opportunity.
They're both opportunistic in transition, but with that being said, both sound fundamentally, and the first part of that is get back in transition, take away easy opportunities.
Degenhardt handles the ball so well. Another pick. Cardenas got a man on his back and a nice find in low. But Buchanan missed the shot. Rather, it was Bowie.
Good awareness there by Evans. Could have forced the issue in transition. Instead, play for the last shot here.
I think that's an example that Cardenas had. The Broncos are not a great shooting team. Cardenas would have a lot more assists if they were. Clifford clears some room and misses the 3. Degenhardt has the rebound. Final heave. First half. It was online, but a little strong. Game was tight before Colorado State put some cushion about 4 minutes ago, and they've kept that cushion going into halftime. 38-29. The Rams. Broncos on the road. Colorado State an up-and-comer. We'll send you to AT&T at the half right after these messages. That's a big ram. That's a big lead for Colorado State. 38-29. Rich Waltz along with Dan Dickow. Well played first half. Once Colorado State grabbed the lead, they haven't given it up.
Yeah, I mean, Boise State, if you're looking at the stats, 3 turnovers in that first half. Didn't shoot the ball great, but Colorado State was tremendous offensively. Everybody got in the party.
Yeah, familiar face and an unfamiliar face.
Well, Neat Clifford, you knew what he's going to bring to the table night in, night out. He got things started. Deep 3-ball, attacking when they closed into his space. And he got help from an unexpected teammate, Nikola Joppa. A great first half. Started it off with 2 early buckets. He was great in that first half, providing some scoring punch in an unexpected way.
What numbers jump out for you?
Well, right there, 50% from the field for Colorado State against a really good defensive Boise State team whose opponents only shoot around 43% on the season. If Boise State wants to come back and get this win on the road, they have to drive that number down.
And the story again with Nikola Joppa, he's only in there because Rashawn Bemba is sick. Joppa's only played in 7 games and only 3 minutes a game in those 7 games. Clifford! Announce your presence with authority. And he just did.
That was next level right there. Get by your defender up top. Degenhart late. It didn't matter. Clifford was going to finish it regardless.
Cardenas has scored or assisted on 9 of the 12 field goals from Boise State. And here's another look at a great start to the half.
It was so good. We had to get another look at it. Clifford. Oh, my. Another angle.
He is a nightmare. He's a big guard at 6'6", who has hops and has plenty of game. Now the question is, how does Boise State start generating offense? Stanley steps under Joppa. It looked like they're taking the ball right at Joppa here.
That's one way. Omar Stanley, quiet first half, didn't score, gets the initial bucket. He was tremendous this season to go over 12 points a game. The emergence of Meadow has impacted him a little bit, as has the emergence of Buchanan, but they need him to play well this second half of Mountain West play.
I think Degenhart got tagged with the foul. It's his second personal. Been a pretty clean game. Not a lot of turnovers, not a lot of fouling. And we are told that Bowen Bourne will be wearing number 13 when he comes back in. Bourne was the one who was cut badly over the right eye, and that's a long 3 from the corner. Crocker Johnson reloading is Evans.
He is just becoming more and more comfortable as the season goes on. Nice first half, 4 assists, 0 turnovers, but starts it off with another 3.
Wally Zerbiak at halftime talked about getting in rhythm for the Colorado State shooters. They certainly have. Cardenas misses. Crocker Johnson with the rebound.
And Colorado State offensively is so difficult to prepare for because they run great actions, great sets, and then they play well out of them when things break down. Split actions, back cuts.
8 of 15 is Colorado State from 3 now. Chris Lockett Jr. didn't play a lot in that first half. That's been the best play for Boise State. Get the ball to Meadow in the corner, let him shoot it or drive it.
Almost a carbon copy of a same play in the first half where attacks the closeout, finishes on the other side of the rim.
Joppa looks pretty comfortable out there for a guy who hasn't played all year. Clifford met and fouled. They really swing the ball, move the ball. Everybody touches it.
When you put a team in rotation defensively, many times it opens up the glass. That led to the open 3 from Evans up top. We got another look at the Meadow athletic finish on the other end.
As we told you, Rams' best free throw shooting team in this conference, close to 80%. They're 6 of 7 tonight. Broncos have been to the line 4 times. They've missed 3 times. And I think a win right now for Colorado State is rebounding. They're +1 against a team that's plus 8.6 rebounds a game. Boise State, Cardenas, so sweet with that left hand.
Just plays at his own pace. Doesn't let the defense speed him up at all. Got him on his hip, and then exploded to that finish.
Would you agree he needs more help in the backcourt?
Well, I think, you know, one of the things... Wow, another
Parker Johnson from Joppa.
But to your point, you know, I think if Boise State had another ball handler, it would alleviate some pressure. And, you know, Cardenas could then play on that second side, and pick and roll play would be even easier for him. But that being said, he's such a heady point guard. He makes plays for others.
Degenhart going hard inside. And I think Joppa gets the foul. I think that pass wasn't intended for. I think that pass was going all the way through to Crocker Johnson, and it looked like Joppa Derek Jetered it, right? You know.
What was that, against the A's years ago?
Yeah.
That was a good call there, Rich. But yeah, I agree with you. I think it was an initial skip pass from Clifford, but good hands from Joppa to catch it. That was a rope.
Degenhart's free throw is good.
Leave it to the baseball guy sitting to my left, Rich Waltz, to come up with a great example tying in that national pastime.
Every now and then, pitchers and catchers probably due here in a few weeks. Degenhart on the way.
That's hard to believe. I mean, it's about 20 degrees outside, and
well, they're not reporting to Fort Collins.
That's true. Fort Myers, I guess.
There you go.
But Florida's got snow right now.
That's true. Colorado State, 13 assists on 16 buckets. That's why they're one of the best in the country at assist percentage. Clifford, left hand this time. He's got 16. Cardenas. This is Lockett. Baseline drive cut off. Boise State's offense has been Cardenas, Degenhart, and Meadow from the corner. Degenhart driving it hard. He earned it. 2 more free throws coming.
It's been the Neek Clifford show throughout much of this season, and tonight included. A terrific finish with the left hand.
You know the drill they do with guys where they get football pads out, and as they come down the lane, they pop them on each side? That's exactly what that looked like as he was coming through. He got hit on both sides, kept the ball, kept his balance, and got the bucket.
Well, rare mistake from the fundamentally sound Degenhart. He just went to the gap position with his hands. You get there with your entire body, Clifford's not going to be able to get all the way to the basket.
All right, coming into the ball game is Pearson Carmichael, the freshman. There's a look at the guy they call Peanut. And Carmichael, in case you haven't heard the story, was going to redshirt this year, but he impressed the Broncos so much in practice that Leon Rice told him, if you want to play, because we need you. And this will be his 5th game here in this one. We'll see how Peanut fares when we return. 50-38, Colorado State.
Tyson Degenhart trying to keep Boise State within striking distance, attacking the rim, drawing the foul. While we were gone, the officials went to the monitor to double check who that foul was on. This is big because they gave Jalen Crocker Johnson his 3rd foul. He's made life difficult for Degenhart, even though he's got 10 points. Those have been 10 well-earned points.
And Colorado State is short on bigs. Rashawn Bemba has been sick for the last 3 games. He was unable to go in this one. We told you about Nikola Joppa getting a rare start and having a really nice time of it in his short stay with 6 points. Here's Degenhart to the line. Boise State has been unable to make a run at Colorado State once the Rams got to about a 10 or 11-point lead. And it's been tough. They've not been able to run at all because part of that is the terrific shooting like Colorado State. Good press break as well. Lake's going to go right in the lane. He's doubled, kicks, Evans three, and he missed it. Now let's see if they can run off the miss. Meadow hunting. Cardenas. Good switch and switch back by Evans. This is Carmichael. They're looking for instant offense from him. Just a freshman. Shot clock getting down. And a foul. Evans on a reach.
Crafty move by Cardenas. Notices, recognizes the hand is inside his space. Lift your own hands up.
Yeah.
Make the official aware of it. Draw the foul.
Leon Rice today told us he's the best point guard I've ever coached.
With high praise. He had a number of good point guards that he was an assistant coach at at Gonzaga. Ray J. Dennis spent a couple years, who's now in the NBA at Boise State.
Degenhart stripped to the ball. Clifford picks it up. Morton pushes tempo. Jorgensen thought about the three. Clifford doesn't need to think about anything. He just gets a ball fake. Oh, Stanley comes into pocket. Or Ubo with the block. That's Jorgensen, and he's fouled, and he'll go to the line. Ubo. Emmanuel.
It came out of nowhere to erase what looked like a certain two for Neat Clifford. You see Clifford walks up, gives him a little pat on the hip. Nice block.
Actually, he came out of the Netherlands. That's not nowhere.
Nowhere defensively.
There you go.
Clear it up a little bit. That's such an interesting thing about college basketball these days is, you know, it's truly become an international game.
You know, part of that is fueled by NIL because European players are not eligible for NIL, so a lot of programs have really focused towards, I mean, we just saw Wayne Tinkle at Oregon State, who's retooled his lineup with a lot of players from Europe because right now they can't compete with the bigger schools in NIL. And it's working. Gonzaga, certainly one of the standard bearers with players from Europe. Cardenas step back three, won't go.
And I think what you're going to find is the best programs find a mix of homegrown high school players.
Evans with a nice no-look bounce pass.
That was a heck of a pass. But the best programs mix of high school players, the correct guys out of the transfer portal, and then internationals that fit the way you want to play.
Cardenas being asked to do a lot. As usual, it was a lob pass. Ubo wasn't on the same page, though. Ubo rolled, and Cardenas figured he was going to the rim and left it up there. Jorgensen miss. All right, missed shot. Let's see if the Broncos can get some tempo going.
They need to get a good shot attempt up on this possession. They've been scrambled a little bit on this end of the floor here in the second half.
Biggest lead of the ball game right now is 15 from the Rams. Cardenas has been in the thick of everything. Degenhart corner three short. And Meadow knocked the ball loose. Williams up the floor for Colorado State. Evans begging for the ball. Jorgensen against Meadow, spinning. Clifford thought about three. Evans doesn't think. Jorgensen put back. And Carmichael has the rebound. 3-minute scoring drought right now for Boise State, and a turnover there. And the second half, at least the first part of this second half, is not looking great for the Broncos. Something has to change dramatically. Cardenas lost his footing. Evans kept the ball. Shot clock is down. Jorgensen got to get it up. Spins. Scores! Rice has seen enough. He'll burn a timeout. Kyle Jorgensen, the freshman out of Minneapolis. Beautiful pass there from Evans. Little look one way, bounce past the other. 56-39 Rams in the Mountain West. The race to become European football's royalty is back. Don't miss an epic match day 7. Doubleheader beginning tomorrow, noon Eastern, the UEFA Europa League on CBS Sports Network. Stream every match live on Paramount Plus. He's back, and they cleaned up his number 13. They were going to give him 43. Bowen Bourne caught a shoulder right above the right eye. There was blood all over the court, and that's when Dan broke out his hockey story. And Bowen's all patched up. The uniform looks like the spots came out, and he's back in. And of concern right now for Boise State, they haven't scored in almost 4 minutes.
Well, they did a terrific job in the first half taking care of the basketball. Only 3 in that first half, but 4 in the first 7.5 minutes. They've shot the ball fine, 50% in the second half. They just haven't been able to get good looks.
Julian Bowie back on the floor with Cardenas, Keene, Buchanan, Dagenhart. Cutting, Dagenhart up and under and in.
Terrific.
He's got 13.
Excuse me, Rich. Terrific delivery on the slip of the screen and a terrific catch and finish.
So Bourne is in there right now. Clifford, leading scorer among both teams. He's got 16. Cardenas leads the Broncos with 14.
Boise State in the zone now. Try to get Colorado State out of their rhythm. One of those teams that offensively, when they get in their rhythm, they play at a much better pace and have much more efficiency.
Bowie, Bourne got him. Timeout on the floor. Boise State 4 minutes without a hoop. Cardenas, Dagenhart, problem solved. Cheap AP top 10. Auburn, Duke, Iowa State. Look at that score with Houston down at number 7, blasting Utah 70-36. Dan, AP top 10, who you like in there?
Well, I know Auburn's really good, and Bruce Pearl's got 6 players averaging double figures, but right now, the kind of evolution of Cooper Flagg over the last month or so, based on kind of the projections that he had coming in, he's living up to those and more. Duke's looking really good to me.
I like the job Mark Pope has done at Kentucky. I mean, there was a lot of doubt when they hired him, like, oh, come on, he's the BYU coach? He's done a terrific job. Lamont Butler is fun to see him playing there.
Yeah, a former Mountain West player at San Diego State. But you're right, Mark Pope has done a tremendous job. And the expectations at Kentucky are so unrealistic at times. It's going to make that job difficult for anybody. You know, John Calipari leaving gives the opportunity to former Wildcat Mark Pope, but he's taken the job and done extremely well.
All right, if you're Tim Duryea, who is the de facto offensive coordinator for Boise State on this basketball staff, how do you get them going?
Well, the fact that Cardenas and Dagenhart are always going to be the focal point of the opposing team's defensive scouting report, you've got to find a way to get them easy opportunities, whether it's high pick and rolls as we're seeing now, or side pick and rolls like that previous slip from Dagenhart. Those are what you're looking for, but you've got to have somebody step up and make shots, so you have to pay attention to the others.
7th team foul in Colorado State, and that's a spot for Boise State now. If they can hit their free throws, that could help them creep back in this.
Without a doubt, and that's got to bring a smile to Leon Rice's face. The other night at New Mexico, they didn't have a foul called on New Mexico until 4 minutes left in the first half.
That was a wipeout. That was an 85-64 loss. They were 1 of 18 to start from distance. They finished 5 of 24. They've not lost consecutive games all year, but that's in danger of happening here.
A really proud program. 3 straight NCAA tournaments. You see after the made free throw going into 3/4 court pressure just to throw Colorado State out of their rhythm.
Keyshawn Williams going hard. Whoa, Williams, the senior, the transfer from Northern Illinois, who, remember, didn't play last year after ACL surgery. He's starting to get a little more comfortable with that knee. Buchanan. Degenhardt. It's all Degenhardt right now. He gets to the low blocks, scores. He's got 15 on 5 of 10 shooting.
But if you're Morton, you can't go for that steal in that situation and give Degenhardt an angle on the catch.
Can the Broncos grind it out with just Degenhardt in the low blocks and win this game?
It's going to be difficult, but with Cardenas, making timely plays, in particular out of pick and rolls, you like their chances to get right back into this game.
Evans and Lake on the bench right now, with Bourne and Williams in the backcourt. Clifford. Oh, Crocker Johnson with the catch. An assist to Clifford, and I think a foul on Degenhardt.
Clifford continues to make pinpoint passes out of that pick and roll time and time again. With his height, his length, you can see over the top of the defense. Not only does he deliver it, he's showing some excitement, some emotion.
Was not a Degenhardt foul. You saw Bowie slide through there on that shot right at the end, and Bowie's going to pick up the foul. Crocker Johnson completes a 3-point play, and Colorado State, halfway through this second half, has a commanding 16-point lead. Boise State started from 3, 2 of 4, but they're 2 of their last 9. Degenhardt against Crocker Johnson, trying to back him down. Cardenas, oh, how did he get the pass through there? Blocked by Crocker Johnson. Degenhardt, second effort, gets it up and in.
Will not be denied on the offensive glass.
Evans back in. Clifford, of course, having a big night with his 16 points. 9 threes already. This is a mid-range shot, and it's off. That's a foul on Crocker Johnson, it feels like. No, it's a Boise State foul. He didn't get an assist on that, but Cardenas with another gorgeous pocket pass on a pick and roll. Cardenas picks up the foul. It's his second personal. This has been a rather quiet crowd here. The students are back for the first time since December 4th. Good crowd. There's still maybe a little bit of that holiday hangover, so to speak. Bowie with another foul. It's a white out. Colorado State didn't exactly dazzle in non-conference. And there's a lot of snow, and it's in the 20s right now outside. But the Rams win tonight. They're 6-2 in the Mountain West. Clifford stepping through, got it up. And here come the Broncos off a missed shot. Cardenas, great move, gets through, finds Buchanan, blocked by Clifford, but a foul.
Quick decision from Cardenas to reject the pick and roll up top. Finds Buchanan. Oh, that looked pretty clean on second glance.
The hand maybe it's enough hand to warrant a whistle. Again, we're officiating in super slow motion.
Yes, we are.
Gentlemen out there, this is a good crew. They get one look and it's full time, it's full speed, and they're running up and down the floor all night.
Yeah. In support of the 3 officials, I guarantee I could not do what they do out there.
So Buchanan narrows it down to 12. We'll see if the Broncos can make some sort of a run with Evans back in there. Lake, Morton, Clifford, Crocker, Johnson. The ball just moves so quickly, so crisply on this offense. Lake spinning, missed it. Let's see if the Broncos can get something going here. Cardenas hunting, driving, laying it up, missed it.
Cardenas would love to have that one back. Would have cut it to a 10-point game. The other advantage is when you score, you're able to get back and set up in that three-quarter court pressure.
Evans cutting to the bucket. And Cardenas is going to pick up the foul. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it is. It's Cardenas. It's his third personal. That's he and Degenhart, they can't afford to lose.
The only two players for the Broncos in double figures. So both have been extremely efficient. You've got to find a third weapon, someone who can step up, make some shots, take some pressure off of those two. Because if they can keep it close down the stretch, it's going to be in the hands of Cardenas and Degenhart.
Well, maybe it's Meadow. You see him checking in. He's had some nice moments offensively in this one. He's 3 of 3 from the field, 7 points. This guy is, by the end of this season, this guy, I think, is going to be a completely different player in a lot of people's eyes from when he started the season.
Oh, without a doubt. You can just see the confidence continues to grow, even from 10 days or so ago when we had them last at San Diego State. He's in full command of this offense.
Buchanan muscling, got it up and in. And so someone other than Degenhart scoring from the low blocks. Buchanan with 6 points. He's 2 of 3 from the field. Evans driving, dishing. Jorgensen the catch. He's doubled, and he's fouled. And a timeout. 7.5 left in this ball game. Colorado State at home and on top. Love to see it. Whiteout crowd here. Just to reset the game, Colorado State on top, 63-51. Plenty of timeouts for both sides. Free throws from here on out. Broncos have the possession arrow. Colorado State is at the line. Rich Waltz along with Dan Dickow. This is a game in which Colorado State has built a lead and kept the lead for some time now.
Yeah, they've kept Boise State at bay, and a lot of that is because Cardenas and Degenhart are really the only guys who have stepped up and made shots. Leon Rice got to find a third guy that can make plays tonight. For Colorado State, you know, they're not a great rebounding team. They have battled Boise State into a complete tie in that category of the game. They need to limit Boise State to one shot and out.
You saw that shot of Leon Rice. I'm sure a lot of you that watch sports now, including college basketball, have a tablet or a phone and you're checking stats. That's what coaches do during timeouts as well. They get the stat sheets, take a look just to see if there's trends that they don't see with their eyes that are showing up on paper. Degenhart, 3 men around him. Doesn't matter with the left hand. That's a big bucket coming out of that timeout, and the lead is down to 10. Boise State looking for any little foothold of momentum. Colorado State trying to keep the pedal down. Broncos in that zone again. Clifford, air ball on 3. Cardenas has it. $14 points, 5 assists for Cardenas. Degenhart 19 points, and 7 of 13 shooting. Long 3 and a good one there. And that's Javen Buchanan, who's 36% from beyond the arc. And the Broncos have life. 63-56, back in 30. An NAIA All-American at Indiana Wesleyan, Javen Buchanan has made the jump. And you see this run right now by Boise State, an 11-2 run. Buchanan with the 3 there. His numbers in Mountain West play have really jumped And for Leon Rice and the Broncos, finally it feels like this is the run, a 7-0 run right now. This is as close as the game has been since the later stages of the first half.
Well, this three-quarter court pressure has kind of put a little bit of a pause into Colorado State's offense, which earlier was running with a ton of fluidity.
Clifford cut off by Degenhardt. Just throws up a prayer. Not a great shot, and that is off of Boise State. Shot clock is still at 11 for Colorado State.
Heads-up play from Jorgensen, but if you're Buchanan in that situation, you don't let the ball go out of bounds. You grab it with 2 hands.
Rams ball.
Way out high, Crocker Johnson. Not a lot of time here. Evans knows that. Thinks a 3. Lay cut off. Lost it. Buchanan makes another big play. Steps through and dunks it. Oh, my goodness. Javen Buchanan. Terrific in the last minute. And he's brought Boise State within 5.
But just when I said Boise State needed somebody else to step up to help the load that Cardenas and Degenhardt are carrying, Buchanan with a couple of enormous plays.
Saw the run for Boise State. Evans hesitates. He's bumped by Buchanan, and that was loud enough to draw a foul. It's the 4th personal on Buchanan, and that's of concern.
Buchanan gets in the gap, comes up with the steal, and then the little high pickup over the outstretched hand of Jalen Lake. And don't forget about the finish with authority, bringing the Boise State bench to some excitement.
Misses the free throw. And so the Broncos, despite the foul, get the ball back, and they're still down just 5. Lockett, Cardenas, Buchanan, Meadow, and Degenhardt. Cardenas in traffic, in trouble, and he's fouled. That bails him out. They had him surrounded.
Over penetration from Cardenas. I thought he was more concerned about staying in front of Evans as opposed to just getting the ball up on the rim. In a situation like that, Degenhardt's got inside position on the glass. Shoot that little floater. Trust yourself to make it. If it misses it, it's going to be soft more times than not. Degenhardt right there would have been able to clean up the mess.
Evans with the foul, his 2nd personal for Colorado State. 5 minutes left here. Broncos have been down for a long time, but are on their way back. A 9-0 run. Cardenas can add to it. And he does. 72% from the line. Boise State's a good free throw shooting team as well. Anytime you're in the high 70s, that's good. They're 77%. And they're 11 of 11 from the line in the second half. Leon Rice patient, watching. The lead is down to 3. Largest lead was 17. Clifford battling, backing Cardenas in, and he scores.
But at some point, you got to double team that. Andrew Meadows shows digging down on the post, but never committed to doubling and get the ball out of Clifford's hands.
Again, Ubo on a roll, and the pass skips right by him.
Missed opportunity down the floor that time for Boise State after cutting it to 3.
Cardenas with the steal. Up the floor, corner, Meadow, 3, rims out. That would have been a big shot that had dropped.
Colorado State, keep the ball in Evans and Clifford's hands. Let those two make the deciding plays.
Crocker Johnson missed the 3. Degenhardt the rebound. Maybe not the shot they wanted.
I don't think that was the shot they wanted. But this is a learning experience and a time for Evans to really grow. Didn't get them into a good offensive set that time.
Cardenas, good 3-point shooter. Quickly whips it. Degenhardt backing in against Morton. Degenhardt with a sweeping hook. And the lead's back down to 3.
No different than on the other possession where Clifford wasn't doubled. If you give good players like Clifford and Degenhart that much time, that many dribbles, they're going to get to their sweet spot and score more times than not.
Broncos on this run. They're 65% from the field here in the second half. That's Evans. That's a big 3. And a timeout. Big shot for Colorado State. Stretches their lead.
Close game in league play. You've got to have your go-to guys able to deliver in crunch time. Degenhart for Boise State in single coverage. Same thing. Clifford, double team doesn't come. He simply takes his time, squares up over the top. Defensively, you've got to recognize that and don't let the opponent's star player beat you.
That's a lot of points in the paint, Dan Dicka. That's 60 points tonight from the paint.
Well, Boise State really focuses in on getting the ball to Degenhart on the low block. For Colorado State, they've done it in a number of different ways. Dribble drive action, stop, turn your dribble action into post-ups, as well as sneak Clifford, such as on that last play.
Boise State 5 of 15 from distance. Colorado State is 10 of 22. That's a difference in this game. Cardenas hunting. Meadow driving. He's bumped and he scores. There's no whistle, but a terrific drive by Meadow.
The made basket allows Boise State to pick up in full court.
Press break. Clifford hands off Lake, and he gets the roll. And it's back to a 6-point game. 2.5 minutes left here. Boise State has a couple timeouts, and they've got a hot hand right now. They're shooting it well. Meadow wanted another baseline drive. Degenhart, low blocks. Let's see if the double comes for him. Against Moore, spins right by Morgan, scores, and he's fouled, and he gets to the line.
The sense that a double might be coming from the middle, spins away from the contact. Morton tries a last gasp attempt to contest. Doesn't matter. Degenhart, what a finish.
It feels like Degenhart, with help from Cardenas, have kind of willed Boise State back into this game. Buchanan has had some nice moments on this run by the Broncos. And Degenhart with a 3-point play, and it's a 3-point game again. 2:18 left. Every night in the Mountain West, you get games like this. Lake, Evans, driving, blocked. Buchanan got it. Blocked again. Degenhart got it. And an opportunity here for the Broncos to get closer or to tie.
I'd go back to Degenhart on the low block. He scored the last couple of possessions.
Pick and roll. Cardenas stopped, falling away, and he gets the bucket. Goodness, 1-point game. Down 17, the Broncos are within 1. A minute and a half left. Clifford. Long 3. Missed it badly. Chance to take the lead for Boise State. They haven't had one in a long time. Cardenas at the controls. Degenhart a 3. Got it! Huge shot. The Broncos are back and on top by 2.
You want your senior leaders to step up and make big plays. That's exactly what Boise State has done. Cardenas, the tough finish, followed by finding Degenhart on the pick and pop. That is pure Boise State coming back to take the lead.
They've made their last 5 field goals. The run is an 8-0 run, and they finally grabbed the lead. Their last lead came at 17-15 early in the first half. Just another night in the Mountain West. Always crazy fun games. Got another one coming up. Chris Lewis, Mike O'Donnell waiting. Down I-25 about 2 hours and 20 minutes if the traffic's good to get you to Colorado Springs for that one as soon as this one is over. Tyson Degenhart, 27 points, a season high, 10 of 16. Just a lot of big plays. And the Broncos here in the second half have effectively taken this crowd out of the game. Let's see what Niko Medved draws up.
I'd expect something to end with the ball in Nick Clifford's hands.
That's Clifford into the lane. Good fake. Gets it up and in, and it's tied at 72. Good call, Coach Dickow.
Back on this end. Ball has got to be in either Degenhart's hand on the low block or pick and roll Cardenas.
Degenhart, long three, rims out of bounds. Colorado State ball. They can look at this replay to see if the call is correct.
Clifford will not be denied. Through contact, able to get the friendly roll here at Moby Arena.
So we're under 2 minutes, so they can look at this ball out of bounds to see who it last touched. Really? Good luck.
That looks to me
like the tip came from above.
It looks as if it went off Clifford.
Boy, I don't know. Can you tell definitively from that to overturn it? Because the original call is Colorado State ball.
So you have to be able to definitively say that it went off the Colorado State's player's hands. But if you look right here, it looks to me as if the rotation of the ball changes.
Catches a finger.
Yes, that to me looks like it's off Clifford. We get another angle here. Maybe this shows it a little better. Yes. I think it's Boise State basketball on baseline.
This is a huge moment in a tie game with 34 seconds left. Colorado State was cruising, a 17-point lead at one time. They kept double digits up on that scoreboard in terms of a lead for what felt like an eternity. And Boise State was frustrated. They were stagnant, and then suddenly they exploded.
I think a big turning point was when Boise State was able to make a basket or two. As funny as that sounds, or obvious as that sounds, it allowed them to set up three-quarter court, some full-court defensive pressure, and take the offensive flow of getting the ball from the backcourt into the front court for Colorado State's offense, where they could easily get into what they wanted to do.
After review, the call on the floor stands. The game clock will be set to 35-1.
So not enough to overturn.
Yeah, again, it has to be definitive if they're going to overturn it.
Rams get the ball. Niko Medved trying to get 6-2 in the Mountain West. Leon Rice and Boise State trying to get to 6-3. Every night there's an impactful game in this league, and a tight one here.
Seems as if they all go down to the wire, but I would expect this possession once again to end with the ball in Nick Clifford's hands.
Got about a 4-second differential, shot clock, game clock. It's in Clifford's hands against Meadow. Shot clock down. It's go time. Clifford driving. Clifford missed it. Rebound, kick, three. Lake hits it. Jalen Lake with a three. Cardenas needs a three. He launches, and he almost hit it. Colorado State has won it. Jalen Lake with a three. The Broncos had a timeout. They chose not to use it. What a gutty effort by Boise State to come all the way back. When they needed it, their senior came through, a program guy in Jalen Lake. And credit Crocker Johnson with the rebound and the find, and then the shot from Lake.
So many times comes down to second chance opportunities. Colorado State making the most of it before Cardenas not able to tie it up.
One more look. Lake launches. It rattles home. And the Rams hang in there. They lost a 17-point lead, and then at the very end, they grabbed the win. A team that has snuck up on a lot of people. The Rams are now 6-2 in the Mountain West, and the Broncos fall to 5-4. Coming up next, San Diego State against Air Force. We stay in the Mountain West. For Dan Dickow, our entire CBS Sports crew, I'm Rich Waltz. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. What a moment for the senior, Jalen Lake. And the final score again, Colorado State 75, Boise State 72. We stick in the Mountain West.